digital marketing program, graphics design program, information technology, business analytics. Now you see a business analytics program here that is under data science, data analytics program. So I was opportune to walk through their information technology lab while I was at the campus on Monday. And it's a very good lab, a closed small group class, which is very good, about 25 student max. And those that want to study that program, sure, please, you can. It's a very good program. I saw things myself. Med lab assistant, pharmacy technician, and so forth. Now, if you look at not PW eligible, basically what you see are human resource, hotel, business, all streams, either accounting, marketing, the same. Now, one thing I'll tell you though, if you intend to study business in this school, it's simple. Now, you could the way the business program works in the school is that when you start the first year in your college program, is all streams of business are in the same class. From the second year is when you switch to your specialization. It could be marketing, it could be advertising, it could be maybe accounting, whichever specialization you're looking at for. But the point here is be sure that you're applying to that for that program, knowing very well that you cannot work after graduation. Next would be the campuses. So our Fredericton, here I am, Miramichi, Moncton, St. John's, St. Andrews, and Woodstock. Now, Fredericton is not that big, but Moncton is a very big. St. John and Moncton campus, the biggest as compared to the rest. You will see that based on the programs that are there. Now, all programs I'm showing here are for both international students and domestic students. So domestic students being those that are Canadian or permanent resident. Now, in terms of application on our platform, not everything you see here you can apply for. For instance, practical nursing, it's not open for international students. All right, so you see it here, but you cannot submit application for that. So for this one, we have Fredericton. You can see, for me, I wanted to just show you programs you should apply for, but then I need to show everything so you can compare what is on the website. Here you can see, for me, I would say that from here down here is what you should consider, except practical nursing. So this one, you cannot apply for it. All right. So this as well, not open for international student, power line technician. So again, carpentry co-op, the carpentry program is very good. Due to immigration consideration in the past, I really do not recommend people to come study carpentry and plumbing. But after seeing what the program is all about and the co-op, what they do, and the project, I think if one can carefully present their SOP to reflect the impact of the program on the so-called applicants, I think they stand a good chance of getting into that program. They are really good. But bear in mind that when it comes to construction in Canada, it's specific, it's environmental specific. What we do here in Canada is not what we do in Africa. So my point is, in Africa, hardly do you see people build with wood. It's more of bricks or cement blocks and all that, right? Canada, it's basically they're using wood, right? They're using wood basically to do everything, right? So I could say 95% of their buildings here are made out of wood. If it is concrete, that means it's a commercial building in most cases. So if you're presenting your SOP in this case, be sure that you are able to convince the visa officer how this learning this, maybe carpentry in terms of woodwork, in terms of construction of home, whatever specialization you're looking at is applicable to what you are doing back home or what you intend to do once you're done from Canada, because it is a temporary resident visa. The way the word says that once you're done, you should go back, irrespective of the fact that you can stay back and achieve a permanent residency status with that, but be sure to carefully explain why you need to study that program here. In fact, every other program, same thing. Right? Early childhood education is a very good program. Now, for that program, not in all campuses that, so there's a, when I was discussing with the school, we had the conversation about that program. Early childhood education is a program that is, everybody wants to study that program here in Canada. Whether NBCC, SAT, for instance, there's a school we have partnership with called Saturn Abata Institute of Technology, which is SAT. But that school, this program is also very affordable. It's $15,000, the most affordable program in that school. And the interesting part is the program is closed till 2028. Now, why? Because everyone is coming in for that program, even with St. Clair, those in Ontario. I can tell you, if I have 100 applications, almost 80 or 50% or more are going for that program. So what that tells me is that a lot of people are applying who also want to apply for that program, but through our platform, ApplyBoard, IDP, several partner they're using. So what the school has, they told me that at least if the program is open, it should close very fast, maybe the same day. Again, it depends on the campus. If it is Fredericton, it might close very fast, super fast. Now, if it's some other campuses, it definitely might be a few days later. However, like I said, our goal is to ensure that all those that completed their process before or not before, like when I mean complete your process, that means documentation all done. So additional document requests cleared out. So what we're going to do is that from 5th of this month, well, most likely we're going to be sending out additional document requests to those that we know that they probably need to upload two or more documents to be sure that everything is ready to go. Now, for those that are paying today, I'm going to be online to respond to all of them, confirm their payment, activate their account, so there's no limitation. So why are we doing this? We know that everyone coming to us, some have even called me that they want the application to go in right and go in on time. And that is one thing we want to do. We've heard most of them, most of you, you've called, you've even sent me to me saying that, oh, you know the situation with NBCC, you want to be sure that as we're handling this for you, you're certain that the application is going in on time, in fact, same day, and also you'll stand, in fact, there's no room for not getting it. So if I review your document, or my team and I do that, and I see that, oh, you're applying for the wrong program based on your qualification, I'll tell you straight up, please consider switching to a different program. Or you're applying to a campus that we know that your chances are not as strong as the other campuses, right? So we'll tell you that, please, I think if we submit this application to these other campuses, you stand a better chance, right? So we're going to be doing all that to ensure that everyone is covered regarding this. So if you look at, if you look at the other campus, this is quite a program as well. So the same thing applies to this. Business programs, PWP, non-eligible, non-business programs, of course, trade, transport, which is best in terms of affordability. Okay, I'll answer our questions. I'll leave that there. Once I'm done presenting, I'll answer that. But I'll come back to your question, don't worry. Just drop your question on the chat. I'll answer every one of them. And if you want to ask any question, you can raise your hand. If you feel like not coming live to say something, just drop your question in chat. I'll look at them. So basically, now we look at this campus as well. Quite some programs as well. We have tech programs. We have practical nursing as well. Like I said, forget about that. It's not possible. The ones with asterisk, forget about it. Practical nursing is also supposed to go with asterisk as well. You can see educational support is here. Early childhood education is also here. So again, this is another good campus to apply to. And do I have everyone attached? Sorry, please. Think I'm sharing the wrong slide. Just a moment. So this campus as well, similar programs. PSW acute care is here. Now, let's talk about PSW. I have a personal bias that based on my practice experience, I see that a lot of people have applied for that program. Their visa process is not that successful. Again, I tell you what, it depends on how you present your career objectives, the impact of the program towards your career goal. Now, why I say the visa application is not successful is that if you look at what is happening in Canada right now, mostly in Ontario, a lot of students that are currently studying university or colleges, they go and do this PSW 4-month, 6-month program. And with that, they can work in that field. And through that, they are all becoming permanent resident. So the country knows that, I mean, the immigration IRCC knows that a lot of people that are studying business program at the university level, they just go do this PSW program. So we have a lot of healthcare workers, those that are, so I'm going to call some knock code and explain them. Those are own support worker PSW 44101, or those that are PSW long-term care, which is nursing aid 33102 knock. I'll answer that question. So again, I will tell you something very important about PSW in this location. I'll answer the question later, but I will say that. Now, one of the most important reasons why I'm also here, other than meeting with the school, is to establish with a client of ours a care home facility in New Brunswick. And during our, let me say, feasibility study, market research, and one-on-one conversation with the business team, the regional development team in the state, we found out that there are high level of labor force shortage for PSW in New Brunswick. I'm not bluffing. I'm saying that we have over 100,000 labor shortage in New Brunswick. So if you construct your SOP properly and you can link it thoroughly to show your impact. Now, you don't have to come tell the visa officer that, oh, when I come in, because there are a lot of shortage here in New Brunswick for those that are in healthcare, maybe non-medical. So when we talk about home care support or healthcare support or care support, we have non-medical and medical. Like I mentioned, those that go from home to just do home support, like cook, that's the 44101, that's tier 4. I'm just saying some things for those that are already in Canada to understand that. So when I mean tier code 4, it means that you cannot use that for express entry, but provincially you can. So those that go, like, how will I put this now? Like they just go from people's home to help bath, companion, dress, cook, and all that. Now there are others as well that work in a long-term home to do like CPRO, first aid, assist a nurse to do one or two things. They are nursing aid. So we have the medical and non-medical. So both high labor shortage in New Brunswick. So the problem we are going to face, or what employers are facing, is not to establish a business, because the demand is there. New Brunswick have high level of aging population. When I mean high, almost everybody here, they are retiring, they are looking for care homes or care support from care support company to move along. However, there are not enough people to do the job in New Brunswick. I don't know much about Ontario, because I know that a lot of people are looking for the job in Ontario that I know they are still yet to get one. But I know that if you study PSW in New Brunswick, now two things. I'm working in partnership with the institution. So once established, the company for our client will be having interns from this program as well. So those that are in our group, please keep in touch. Maybe the program, if you're successful in PSW and you're here by next year, we should be able to take in interns, right? And most likely employ those that are done as well. That could help with your immigration. So again, there's a high level of job in demand or shortage of those that are looking for a job in that field. But please be sure that you have a relatable experience and your SOP is very good. You get in through PSW, be sure that you're definitely going to get it, because it's acute care. So if you're able to construct it properly, they will see that you are moving towards the nursing aid, not the home care support. So understand the course outline, understand what you're coming here to study, and know the impact on your career growth objective. That will help you secure a good visa for this. So again, PSW is very good. Now we have the Moncton campus. As mentioned, Moncton has the biggest, one of the biggest, or should I say the biggest rather. You can see a lot of programs there. All right. You can see from construction is there, electrical engineering technology, you can find them there. Everything you're looking for here, Moncton campus. Right. It's very big. And Moncton have a lot of African community. I'll tell you, no lies. It's a growing population. It's way bigger than Fredington. Fredington is a small place, trust me. It's a very nice place. I've been enjoying it so far. After this presentation, I intend to step out to downtown to see what's going on Canada Day. So it's a very quiet place, very affordable place. It's very inclusive, I will tell you, New Brunswick generally. And there's a good support system for people here. Like I heard that there are a lot of government housing in New Brunswick. Like basically all you have to pay in some cases is just your utilities, right? I'm not saying you are capitalizing on that to move here, right? I'm just saying that there are supports in place. You're stranded, of course, the African community here is very strong. They can help you out. So that is something about going to a smaller city as compared to a big city. Now, the same goes with Moncton. So just that Fredericton is the capital city, but doesn't mean that, of course, Moncton and the rest are really good there. I'm going to answer your question as well, so don't worry. So yeah, Moncton, you can see everything is here: early childhood education, educational support, electrical engineering tech, pharmacy assistant, pharmacy technician, plumbing, nursing. That again, as I said, it's not open for international students. Social service community worker, it's a very good program. So that falls you into 44102, 42201 rather. It's a social service support worker. So those people that are working child youth support, women support, recovery homes, group homes, that knock code is there. If you're following through the healthcare category draw, you see 42201. It's a very good knock. We've used it for a lot of clients from BC, Ontario, and other provinces as well. So if you're studying that program and you get a job in a recovery home or in a youth group home, for those that need companionship or they are homeless, or you are like not like a youth counselor, so to say, but of course you work in a capacity that you're helping addicts and all that, you definitely will be able to get your IT, and it will help you with the process. Now, St. John as well, like I said, is also a very big campus. You see a lot of programs are also there. Now, one thing I would say is that programs that have co-ops are also very good. What it tells is that you have a practical component to your study. Once you're done, you need to satisfy the work integrated program to get your degree cleared out. So if you can explain the program very well, it will be good. Now, New Brunswick is a very popular school. At the same time, visa refusal is also very high. Now, it's not high because of the school. It's high because a lot of people apply to that school, but they are not able to constructively present their application and why. Now, it's popular because everyone wants to apply to a school that is affordable, right? Early childhood education in Ontario campus should be $70,000 to $20,000 per year. This same school, it's $20,000 to $22,000 for 2 years. So money you used to pay for 1 year, you're using to pay for 2 years. Mathematically or economically, I would say I want to go for NBCC because cost-wise, I will save a lot, right? However, bear in mind that if you don't construct your application very well, you're done. That's it. We'll come to if you're refused, can you still apply? Can you go for a new path? What's the refund policy and all that? We'll look shortly. So that said, St. Andrews campus as well. Electrical construction. I'll answer your question, don't worry. I'll answer all those questions. I just want to go through and be back. So for this one, St. Andrews is a smaller campus as well. You can see the programs that are there. So any campus that is small, one thing I would say is that it depends on the location, right? People don't want, so New Brunswick, like I said, French one side, English one side. I think French is dominant based on what I've been hearing, right? The Anglophone region are more on the Fredericton side. Moncton is tending towards the French side, though a lot of people are moving to New Brunswick and Moncton at this point in time. However, it doesn't mean that you don't understand French or you speak only English, you cannot survive. You can 100%. In Canada, you can. I've worked with a lot of people that studied in Quebec, Montreal. I don't think there's any location that is worse than Montreal when it comes to French, right? So again, if people can school in Montreal or in Quebec, you can definitely school in New Brunswick. So it's not that bad. So yeah, Woodstock campus as well. I think St. Andrews was just the one we just walked through. And I don't know, for those that are planning early childhood education, St. Andrews, please be sure that it's open in that campus. But based on my research, I'm not saying that it's open. early childhood education for St. Andrews. I'm going to reach out to the school to confirm if there's hope that it's going to be opening for September 2027, but as it is right now on their website, it's not among programs that's going to be there for 2027 for as it is. So Woodstock, as you can see, we have our programs here as well. Yes, so we'll go to core application documents. So first thing first, valid passport. Be sure that your passport is valid. When I say valid, I'm not saying it should be 6 months valid. I'm saying valid to the end of your study. It could be less. You can come in here and extend it, but I'll tell you the impact. If your passport is, let's say, you're applying for a 2 years diploma program and your passport is 1 year before expiration, know that your visa is going to be approved for that duration of your passport. Problem one, which I have dealt with a lot with clients, compliance issue. You do not extend your study permit on time. Now you are out of status. What happens here is that you stop studying until you have a new study permit approved. So if I'm in your position, if I know that my passport just got 1 year left before submitting my study permit, now you can use the passport to secure your admission. That have no problem. But before submitting study permit application, I would definitely renew my passport before doing that. Two, if you did not, and of course you're graduating soon and you're applying for postgrad work permit, please remember that you need to still renew that passport before you do that. Right? So again, like I said, if you stay connected on the group, even though you don't use our services, once in a while we'll be running some immigration webinar like this, and we want to invite you guys to join. So we'll be talking about some key things to help you stay compliant and of course get you through to become permanent residents if that's your goal and desire. So passport should be valid. Two, academic transcript. If you've got WAEC, if you've got NECO, that those from Nigeria, have the original one. Get your scratch card ready as well for both. Make sure that at least your grades are valid, 6 credits, as I would advise, to stand a greater chance. If you have a better grade there, like BA, that would be good. So if you have 2, the one that is way better, not that we're combining both. Let's say you have WAEC and NECO, and one does probably you have NECO and it's A, B, and C. You have WAEC and it's CC and less A, and you think because your WAEC is, I don't know, to some people WAEC has more international recognition, then you want to use WAEC, I would say use your NECO. Now, as a supporting document, we can add the WAEC, right? But NECO, better results, better outcome. That's what I'm just trying to say. For Ghana, it's WAX, almost same as WAEC, right? So for each country, there's scratch card. Sierra Leone, the same WAEC as well. For each country, there's a scratch card process for them, and I can check each and every one of them myself. So we're going to be verifying your results to be sure that no fraudulent application here, right? Why I'm saying that is because I wouldn't want to put in an application and of course you're successfully in, and 2 years down the line, RCC is doing compliance and fraud check and you're flagged as someone that applied with fake documents. Do you get? Or the university decide to check things up and you're having a PFL or a report from the school to explain why. So we're going to check all that. So please, as you're applying, do attach your WAEC or NECO scratch card, your WAX, Ghana scratch card. If it's Sierra Leone, please do the same for Sierra Leone as well. We're going to check every one of them to be sure that what we're seeing is exactly what is online. Compliance is very important for us. Secondly, reference letter, if it's applicable. Take, for instance, you studied, someone I was speaking with today did accounting and did education as a teacher, but she's looking to apply for social works masters. Now, knowing very well that that would be a very tough one to pull, if she's probably got any applicable experience in social work, that's where the reference letter will come very handy. Very, very handy. A reference letter from your place of work to substantiate that you're already in that field. Now, probably you study microbiology, you want to become a PSW worker. That's a very relatable one, so it's not so far off. Or probably you studied business administration and you want to apply for business IT, information technology business analysis. That's also very close, but if you've got some experience in manipulating data rather, That means you're using Excel already, Power BI, in your place of work. If maybe you're using Tableau, or you do some form of analytics. The reference letter from your immediate manager would help to show that you've got applicable experience in that field. So when you're in that class, you easily understand what they are saying. Now, program choice goal, personal statement is, these things are not that mandatory, but the point is sometimes when you have a personal statement drafted why you want to study that program, if they are trying to consider top 5, and top 5% you're looking at currently will have the same grade level based on the analysis, the one that have a personal statement and good reference will be the first person, the rest will go to waitlist. That is just a fact. All right. So what we tend to do while we opened, so we've opened the application today. So our goal is everyone apply. We're going to be comparing each application to the departmental requirement one for which each department applied to, and also country specific requirement, because it's different country to country. Now, if we think that there's a need to bridge the gap on your study gap, maybe you've been out of school for a while, we would definitely need to write a personal statement to bridge that. All right. So we'll probably ask you to provide a personal statement to bridge the study gap. So you've been out of school for a while. What have you been doing? Right. So let's look at your resume. Let's look at reference letter to substantiate these things you're saying. You said, okay, you've been working. Can we have reference letter from your employer to substantiate that? Also, you've been probably, maybe you're doing, you are, okay, I wouldn't want to use the word okay, you've not been working, but you've been at home, but there should be something you're doing to keep your mind active. All right, we need that. It could be a voluntary role, it could be just impact what you do in the community, something important, right, to give you a better chance. So that way, once you put in the application, you're getting a good news out of it, and also that could also build a foundation for your study permit itself. So bear in mind that how you prepare for this application, the same builds towards. So if I were you, I work on a personal statement, I work on reference letters, I'll use the same to move towards my visa as well. Because the personal statement already is telling me that I'm preparing myself for my SOP. 1, 2, the reference letters as well are basically also applicable when I'm working on my study permit. So it's not going to be a waste. You're still definitely going to use it there. So admission criteria, departmental level is very important. One thing I'll tell you, at the departmental level, so I'm referring to both. I'm saying in a case that you have a gap, let's say that, okay, I'll answer your question afterwards, just don't worry. Let me not start diving into that. Let me be done with the presentation first. So at departmental level, each and every department do have their requirements, but generally we know that at least 2.0 out of 4.0, it's a minimal CGPA calculation process. Now, if you're applying for a college program on our platform, CGPA will not calculate. If you're applying for postgraduate program, that means you've done a degree before now, like IT business analytics, your CGPA will be calculated. All right. So it tells you, but I'm sure that almost everyone applied for that, minimum 2.0 out of 4. Right. So you see, if you've used the ImmiBuddy already, you see that if you're applying for non-college program and it is college certificate, I mean, it's not college diploma, it's college certificate. I mean, it's postgrad certificate, postgrad diploma, not college diploma, college certificate. You'll definitely be asked to impute your previous bachelor's degree or ND or HND degree CGPA, and it's going to do a calculation for you to match the out of 4 requirement. Now, again, it's very important to have a CCs. If you're doing anything like PSW and all that, what I've seen in most schools that they want to be sure that chemistry, biology, physics, I mean, chemistry and biology, most importantly, there's CCs, there's a credit grade coming in there, so you can stand a chance. You can't be studying, you're an art student and you're coming in to do PSW. Now, in some cases, some school will allow it, some school will not. Like this school, I'm sure they will not allow it because they want to see that you have a foundation of science before coming in for that program. Now, in that case, that is where if you're already working in a hospital or in a clinic or in a healthcare facility or setting as a care provider, that is where reference letter, statement of purpose, employment letter are very essential. You don't meet their academic condition, but you do meet the experience side of things. So the school will now look at it, okay, this person have been immersed in working in this program, so maybe we should give this person a chance. Could be a good ad. So there's always a way I attempt every admissions, like at a master's level for clients. When it's difficult for them to secure it through our platform, I go in for them. So what I do is I put in an argument for them or an appeal that look at their experience and the impact of a mature student in a class setting. So what I mean is that someone that have got 10 years experience as a manager in a very reputable firm, I've seen a lot. People management, project management, organizational management. That person in a class that is teaching a management program will have a lot to say. So sometimes I use that as a way to give the person a chance, and most times it does work for me, right? They grant the person the admission considering the experience. Now, some schools they don't. They will tell you the basic entry result is what we need. But again, I feel like if you have a gap, what you studied before is far from what you're planning to study. A reference letter is very important. A work reference letter, not just any reference letter, and personal statement would help you a lot. Another thing we did for a client for Cape Breton University, a 2-2 graduate, well, how we're able to get the admission is that we did a very strong statement of purpose for that client, with the client, and the client with a 2-2 from a different program entirely was able to get a digital marketing admission at a master's level, which was really good for us. So again, take that as a take home. It will help you. It will take you much to just get 1 or 2 right. So yeah, admission criteria, country level. We have the Nigeria WAEC NECO, it's mentioned, scratch card, very important. Ghana WACS, or same as WAEC. Sierra Leone, same as WAEC as well. Cameroon GC ordinary advanced level baccalaureate with required passes, very important. Now, we'll be dealing with a lot of inquiry from these 4 countries, and our first representation for these countries. As we're moving forward, we'll be representing more countries as well in Africa. But our first year, this 1 year, we're just running with these countries. Then we will be adding more countries as we move along. So yes, if you know that you are applying for this program, be sure to check your WAEC and NECO result. Be sure that you have a minimum of C6 at least. If you're from Ghana, if you're from Sierra Leone, WAEC is the same grading system. It's not different. I've seen every one of them. If you're in Cameroon, GC is different. So be sure to know what you're submitting. So let's talk about the financial aspect, the tuition, the fee, the deposit. Now, the tuition fee approximately per year is about 10,260. It could be more, but I don't know if it could be less. I think it's averagely this amount. Deposit is 1,500. This is the very crucial part. You see deposit. This is where you need to put in. You need to take this serious. So this deposit here, you need to take this serious. Why should you? Once admitted, because we have a lot of application in the system, and those that do not have or that did not apply on time, they are probably on wait list. A moment. They're going to be on wait list. Now, if you're giving admission, you have about 14 days. You're about to make your 1,500 deposit to activate your account to secure your seat. If you don't pay, you're done. You need to apply again. Don't give it to someone else. So you see this 1,500. It's very important. You pay that. Application fee is 100 Canadian dollars. On our platform, we have 3 ways, and let's say we have 4 ways in total in order to apply for this, to pay this fee. If you're based here in Canada, Interact is your best way, 0 commission from our third-party processing company. If you're based in Nigeria or Ghana, you can use Paystack. All right. Paystack do have their fees, so there are some fees with that. Or if you're based in Nigeria, we have our own Naira accounts on the business name you can send to as well. Upon doing that, if you're in that group, please DM me, share your receipt. I'm going to update your application effective immediately. If you don't want to do either one of these, you can just pay online using your credit card or debit card. And effectively, you pay, the system will automatically proceed with your application and complete it. Now, the 100 Canadian dollars is what we charge. We don't charge for this service. We don't charge for this meeting, we don't charge. I'm not charging anyone for it. It is free. A process is free. Attendance is free. Basically, we do it for you for free. All you need to pay is the fee the school is asking for. That's it. We're not charging you to pay for our services, all right, which is 100 Canadian dollars. So if you see in Stripe, you see the associate fee there from Stripe. That's the fee goes to Stripe. So the $100 come to us. Paystack, you see the conversion rate and the fee as well. If you're paying via Naira account, there's an exchange rate, a standard exchange rate we normally share to everyone. If you're paying via Interact, the exact fee you see is what you pay. All right. So again, be sure and know that the due date of paying that 1.5 is very important. Now, after that, there is a 4,750 that is paid as second first institution deposit and so forth. My advice, if your intention is truly to come study, do not rely on your deposit. See, this is not for visa conversation. I'm going to do another webinar for you guys for that. Once we've seen that 80% of the group have got admission, the next webinar is going to be for study permit preparation and how to activate it for those that are inside Canada that is doing change of DLI or study permit extension, and for those that are coming in the first time. So I'm going to do all that for you guys. So basically, if just as to drop this here, if your plan is to actually study in Canada, do well and pay your first tuition fee for the first year in full. Don't rely on your deposit. That's what I would say. Just an advice. Yeah, you can use deposits, but it's very important you pay your first year tuition. Now, refund policy. First 2 weeks of visa refusal, you get 100%. If you 3 weeks to 4 weeks, 50%. After 4 weeks, 0%. The application fee and confirmation deposits, one, are not refundable. Let's be sure of that. So what is the deposit? Is the 1,500 that we're talking about and the 100 Canadian dollars. Refund takes about 6 weeks and are required by email to the college. So we manage admission, but we don't manage refund. All right. However, if you write us that you want to request for a refund, we're definitely going to give you a guide on how to go about that, and we will help you follow up the best we can do. But why am I saying this? When it comes to money process, the school wants the student to deal with it themselves. Let me just put it out there. If a partner consulting firm or an agent could ask for a refund, do you know how many crimes that people will be committing here? In fact, the schools that are doing it, I'm actually pushing against those schools to stop doing it, because I've had to deal with University of Alberta, $15,000 that was somehow missing for a student, and we're able to retrieve it for them. Now, why we're saying this is because if someone can request for a refund on your behalf, then you would think you've paid your tuition, but your money has been returned to that person. So the school is saying, you tell us, the student should be the one to write us. However, and the school also have a policy. If you paid your money through John is the facilitator of your tuition. Even though you are the one requesting for the refund, the money will return back to the initial way the money was paid. So if your money has been returned back, you follow up through the first channel that paid your fees. Now, ImmiBuddy, we do not have an official process of facilitating fees for anyone. Yeah, the meeting is recorded. So ImmiBuddy does not have an official way of facilitating payment for anyone. However, bear in mind that if you need our help to make your tuition deposit, we can help you. That's something you should know. We can help you, and we are, I could say, the most trusted partner to help you to do that. I've done for countless of international applicants that I've never seen that doesn't even know me. So we can help you. If you've got admission, you don't know how to go about your fee payment, we have our platform. If you're using a dollar card from a country that is not Nigeria, we'll send you an invoice, you pay, we receive, we pay on your behalf. If you're from Nigeria, we'll send you an Naira account and the exchange rate, you pay, we pay on your behalf. If you want to send the money to our Canadian account through Interact, we can also send you our Interact payment link, you pay, and we pay on your behalf. And if there is a refund situation, they send it to us, we're going to send it to you. One thing I need to know is that you can trust us completely 100% to manage your funds for you. Now, we are not financial exchange or fintech company. We're just ensuring that you have no issue or stress or anything to worry about during the whole process. We can help you get it done 100%. Right? And we don't charge for any of this. So now for application deadline, this is upcoming. July 13th, admission is going to open. So one thing you should know is that on that day, a lot is going to happen on that platform. I hope it does not crash. But definitely, we'll intend to submit all application on that day. Then follow up with anyone that we've not gotten admission effective immediately. Now, the good thing about working with us is that, like I said, I'm in New Brunswick at the moment. I'm going to post videos of pictures and videos of myself and the admission team. So one thing I want to do is that I now have a personal relationship with them. And they understand, they trust me. In fact, if you go to the school today, they will tell you to contact me. If you go to the school in person, and they are going to tell you that I am here in New Brunswick, right? I'm sure someone called me that went to the school on Monday, and they told the person that they should reach out to me, that I'm here in person, right? So there are other partners, but the school is telling people to come to me. So that has to tell you that relationship matters a lot in this. So if we put in an application, I can put in words, hopefully get a faster response for admissions. Hopefully, I'm not promising anyone, so don't come and start sending me countless emails and messages that, oh, Harry, it's been more than 4 days, but definitely I'm going to be giving every single applicant the same treatment. No one is special. Everyone special to us, right? Because the people first culture we're operating here. So we want to make sure that you are well taken care of. So definitely for everyone who submit the application, we're going to put in the same effort to ensure that they get a feedback from the school. So again, this is the tuition breakdown. The first year tuition, approximately the deposits, confirmation deposit, 1,005 plus 4,750. The PWP eligible only. Once you do the 1,005, the short power will drop. You pay the next, you pay the others, and be sure to pay your first year. That will help you. Tips and common mistake: ensure your name and date of birth match. Now, this is another thing we'll talk about. Ensure your name, your date of birth are matching your passport exactly. And when you're filling your form on ImmiBuddy, ensure you don't make mistakes. Secondly, now you're probably married. You're married. Yeah, I'm going to answer your question, please. I'm coming to question section soon. So you're probably married, right? So, and you before now, your wife result got a different, your maiden name. Now, upon getting married, you've changed your last name. We need an affidavit for that in order to submit your application. You don't want the school asking for additional documents, and before we respond for that to that request, quota closed, and now you're stranded. You're on wait list, right? So before you do that, of course, my team is going to let you know. We're going to do a due diligence. We'll check your WIAC result. We'll check your transcript. We'll check everything. Your name must match. Your date of birth must match. Now, be sure in WIAC, there's date of birth in WIAC, but there's none in NECO. Now, for those that have WIAC, you'll see your date of birth. Be sure your date of birth is accurate to what is on your passport. If not, affidavit can also resolve that. All right. So these are things you should check very well before putting in your application. If you have done that, please, you still have time to do those due diligence. My team is going to start reviewing application as from next week. We'll give everyone this week to submit. Then next week we'll start so that we'll prepare for the application, the admission date. So please do that. All right. And please stay glued to your email you use to create an account for ImmiBuddy. The reason being that we're going to be doing email communication via the platform. So any requests we'll send, most requests are going to be sent via the platform. If not, we'll send email, then of course reach out to you on WhatsApp. Now, choose a program that is eligible for work permit after graduation. I've said this in the beginning. I'm saying it again and again and again and again. Please, please, and please, and please. Your goal is to study and work in Canada. Do not go for any business program except IT business analytics. All right. I'll come to you shortly, ma'am. Just keep your hand raised. Or sir, please. Pay the confirmation deposit on time to secure your power. 14 days, you are paid the next 2 days. So prepare that money now before admission is out. Apply early, scan document clearly, avoid mismatch information. And only one power is issued per intake. Prepare your study permit application carefully. If you're denied, that is it. The second part is not coming. We can push, we can try. If your Probably you applied on time, you're submitting September 2027, you applied on time and you submitted your study permit this year, is refused. We can try, but there's no guarantee that they're going to listen to us. All right. Now, another thing I would say is that if you're defined, that is none of the PowerPoint, but let me talk about this. If you've applied for your study permit and it came later than your resumption date, if you're not defined to the next available opening, that means your deferral is not for, maybe you are submitted to resume September this year. If you're not defined to resume January, your deposit is gone. You need to submit a fresh application, secure a seat, and pay your deposit all over again. Your 1,500 is gone. It's gone. All right. So even though you're still going to be a student, you pay that all over again. So, one, submit your study permit on time. Prepare properly for that. Submit a very good application to the to RCC. Be sure that you're going in with everything you've got. Now, like I said, some study permit topic is going to come subsequently down the line. This is just the first one. Now, how can we help you? ImmiBuddy is our AI platform that we've developed. Two things are going to happen there. One is already happening, where you submit your admission. The second thing that's going to happen is the visa side of things. Now, we have released it internally. I'm testing it right now. It's not out yet, but our goal is before every one of you will submit your study permit, it's going to be out. And I'm going to do it a solid for you guys. I'll give you guys a discounted promo to use the platform. You might pay for the service, you might not pay, depending on how the cost implication we are playing with here. So if you're going to pay, it's going to be very affordable. So don't worry about it. And plus, you're going to have a discount, maybe 50% off any amount you're going to pay. So we have two ways we've designed this. Let me talk about it. First, if you trust yourself very well that you don't need a professional help or someone to just review your application, you can use ImmiBuddy to look at your full eligibility process, check your document, check your financial document, be sure that no loose end. That means your source of income is as strong as your income are all the available funds. So let me explain that. So what it means is that you told the officer that you've paid your first year tuition and you have 50 million of, let me use for the sake of people that are not from Nigeria that are here, 50,000 Canadian dollars in your account. The money has been there over time, maybe 4 months, 6 months, 7 months. Now, how did you come about that money? The origin of that money? What's your income? If you're the one providing the support yourself. If you're using a sponsor, be sure to understand how to present a sponsor. The relationship should be clearly defined. So this is what our other side of this platform that you're using for admission is going to do for you. It's going to scan through every single thing you submit. It's going to ask for the financial document. It's going to review it thoroughly. And don't be scared. It's fully and well secured. It's built fully on AWS infrastructure, so it's not like a third-party platform. Our models are inbuilt from AWS Bedrock. If you're a tech person, you understand these things. And we're not using API connection from all ChatGPT and the rest. We're developing, before now I was a data scientist, so I'll be building this for the last 2 years. We'll be training our models with different refusal document, GCMS notes, and also it's very sound and very good. It's not only that, it's going to go through stage by stage your educational history, your work history, your travel experience, ties to home country, your financial documentation process. And once it is done, it will prepare you a checklist on how to do your application. Now that checklist, you do yourself a solid to ensure that every single document are ready, and you go back and say that they are ready, it's going to scan them. Secondly, you cannot draft your SOP. So the good part of it is if you go through the eligibility process on our platform, when it's SOP time, the system already have, the agent is very intelligent, your information is already in the system, you're just going to pull each and every one of them to draft your SOP. And it's going to ask you more questions to expand on it, personalize it, so that it doesn't look like an AI drafted it for you. Now, you might say that I don't want to use AI, but if you use it well, you won't regret it. It's going to personalize it so well that you will be marveled on the outcome. So these are things that we've tested, we've tried. I'm using it internally, and it's working. So once we're done with the admission, that is our next action. We're going to open it. I'm going to test run it here for you guys to see, and you will see the outcome, you see the results, you see everything yourself. And we're going to give promo to people that are that are applying right now, that are in that our WhatsApp group, because we're going to be sharing the promo there for them to use. Secondly, if you think that you cannot go through all this, you don't have that time, you don't trust it, you'll be denied a visa before, or something else, you can reach out to RAE Immigration Consulting Inc. Now, RAE Immigration Consulting Inc. is led by me. We have other team members as well. Now, I've worked with a lot of students, study permits itself. I've got a lot of success story from last year, this year. And basically, I have over 40 schools I'm representing as the immigration consultant, right? So basically, I hear and I see a lot about study permit process. I think I've seen maybe all cases of refusals, those from federal courts, those that's fraud related. I'm still going to be seeing more because I'm still working with a lot of students. So I was once international student, then a Canadian permanent resident, a citizen. So I'll tell you, if you need to have that specialized consultant to do it for you after the admission, you can reach out to RAE Immigration. You already have my contact, you already have our emails. Now, on ImmiBuddy side, something else we're doing. If you do it yourself and you just want me to look at it for 2 hours, you can book a consultation via the system and I will review your application for you. Give you a bit of a confidence. Now, it doesn't mean that you're using our system or you're using me, you're going to be approved. There's no guarantee here, but it is better. You're sure that you're not just putting in a very weak application, because I've read through a lot of applications. I was like, you've got a lot of things, but you're not able to present it properly. And if you've been refused once, there's already a bias. The officer is looking. Why should I give you again? What is different this time? All right. So we want to be sure that we're going in well. And NBCC, once you refuse, your chances of you going back to that school again is not sure. You probably wait for a new admission process. If they give you a new path, then you can try. You don't want to gamble it. So ImmiBuddy is going to help you. And from the platform, you can book to speak with me or someone else in our team, or you come to RAE Immigration if you have the box, and we can take care of it for you. Next step, get started. First, I need you to all register with ImmiBuddy. If you have not, please do. Secondly, I need you to all follow us on social, right? So ImmiBuddy is the name on social media, Instagram. RAE Immigration is our also Instagram account. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok so that you'll be informed with our upcoming webinars and all. And for those that are planning to come in, this coming opening July 13th, if you've not created your account yet with ImmiBuddy, please do so. Please do so, because that's the only way you can apply. You cannot send document to me, I'm not going to read it. When you apply through the platform, you pay, we can take it from there and submit to the school. Please do so. It's very essential you do that. I know there are other platforms out there, but trust me, you want to use this. You want to work with us. You want to work with us because there's a lot for you to gain. So please do so. For RAE Immigration, if you need to have a one-on-one conversation with me regarding your visa chances and process, you can book a consultation. In fact, if you send me a WhatsApp message, my AI system is very good at that. My AI agent will tell you to go book a consultation straight. For 30 minutes is 150 Canadian dollars. For 60 minutes is 200. But again, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of free bees for you guys. After the admission phase, for those that want to have a one-on-one section, I'll give you a 50% off discount with a special code for you guys to use to book a consultation on anything regarding your visa process. And then for those that will use our platform for the visa as well, we're going to give it a discount, maybe up to 50% as well on the platform. Now, bear in mind, the platform is not going to be up to $1,000 for you to use it. It's not. Right, so you might be spending somewhere around 500 Canadian dollars to use the platform, plus speaking with an agent, with a consultant to review your application. So we're creating a process whereby if you can't afford a lawyer $3,000, $4,000, you can't afford the consultants, then you should be able to use the platform to help you out. So that is that. Now I'm going to look at the questions. Now, I can see your hand raised, but then there are a lot of comments already. I'll go through all the comments first before I will attend to you that have raised your hand, please. So first, please, I have a question. Okay, yeah. So which location on campus is best affordability? Now, New Brunswick generally is affordable. It's not like Ontario. It's not like BC. New Brunswick is affordable. Trust me, any campus you are admitted is good to go. That's one thing I'll tell you. Any campus, it's good to go. But the most remote campus is like Moncton, St. John's, Fredericton, of course. They are on the high end of affordability. Not that they are not affordable. Why I'm saying that is because if I look at what people are paying in Calgary, which is also cheaper than Ontario, but then what they are paying there compared to what you pay in New Brunswick, I'll say New Brunswick generally is affordable. So look at the campus, look at if you can get in there, please do. But one thing I would advise is if you know that Fredericton, the intake, people are coming in magnitude. So if you want to secure your application admission and you want to stand a chance, please look at St. Andrews, look at St. John. I mean, St. John is also it's becoming very populated now. You can look at the other provinces and the cities as well, right? But bear in mind, they might be French speaking. All right, so you probably want to start speaking French at some time, which is good for you because immigration wise, if you speak French, it's very good for you, right? But my point here is that if it's affordability, New Brunswick is very affordable. But the major cities, of course, they are cities, right? So definitely you pay a little bit more as compared to the rest. So St. John, Moncton, Fredericton are the three major cities. The rest are not. So personal support worker at good cost to study in New Brunswick. It's very good, very, very good. I mentioned that already. Reason being that just yesterday, the meeting I had, obviously they were just saying it to my face that a lot of employers are finding it difficult to find people to work for them in that field. All right. The job is there, but the people to do the job, they are not there. So if you study that program, you're admitted, you got your visa, you will get a good job here. That is a fact. Trust me. PSW is good to study here. It's social service, the same thing. It's a very good program. Social service, community work. It's a very good program. Same goes with PSW. You can work in the same field as well. So please, that's very good. Electrical construction. Now, they are all within the same field. Electrical engineering technician, electrical construction, they are all the same field. Now, one thing you know about the school is that it's very technically oriented. Technically oriented because I was able to go through all their labs. So when a school have more, it's more like a technical school. When a school have more labs than class, what does that tell me? It tells me that it's a very good school. So that means you're going to be doing more of hands-related learning than just theoretical learning. And if you study that program, you'll be able to immediately be useful in the job market. You'll be immediately. So electrical side could be it's a very good one, not could be, it's a very good program you should go in for. A very good one. It's relevant. Practically, you will find in a location to do internship in New Brunswick a lot. Construction is rising in the north side of New Brunswick. A lot of people are building in Fredericton. A lot of buildings are coming up, right? So again, it's a very, very good program. Please accept business program, please. Though based on the data I reviewed with them, business, they say customer rep business, they are looking for people in those fields, but you cannot study them if you intend to work in Canada, right? You have to leave. I studied medical lab science with some years of experience. I applied for PSW currently. Do you think it's a good idea? Good question. Now, you study med lab. For someone that have done med lab, you've worked in the lab as well, I assume the experience. If you're going in for PSW, you'll get the admission. But be sure to relate why PSW. Because in some sense, the officer might think med lab has more pedigree or more strength than PSW. So you're more like downgrading. That's thought of officers, not me. But the point is, in a way, they might look at it that way. But if you're able to explain why, because again, PSW acute care, why is it relevant? And your experience is very relatable. So you'll be able to connect the dots. Now, it could be that you've always wanted to be a nurse. So this is your way of getting into the system. All right. So that is something you should also look at. Be sure to disclose what you studied before, your experience, and relate it to what you intend to study now. Because if practical nursing was open, I would say go for practical nursing, but it's not open for international students. Now, you cannot also do med lab assistant because it's kind of lower than what you studied before. That's another problem because the officer will tell you that you studied this program before. Why are you going back there? So these are things that they always say. So please be sure that 100% you can, your career objective and prospects is very, very well detailed and relatable, personalized. You will get the admission. The problem is the visa process. All right. Now, there are no other options for you to look at. If you look at the school, if you're looking at other schools, I'll say no, don't do PSW. Do practical nursing or go back to do something advanced in med lab. But if you're considering that school, PSW is not bad because that's the only option you do have, to be real. That is related to what you've done before. So yes, go with that, but be sure to draft your SOP very, very well. The reference is for course application visa. Like I said, the reference is not required, but if you do have one, it will help to give you a better chance. A CV is not a personal statement. It just shows your profile, your work history, your name, and also don't bring that up. Personal statement is different. Your personal intent or statement is that you're right. Why do you want to study this program and why New Brunswick? Why New Brunswick Community College? So writing such is telling the visa officer, the admission officer, that you have done your due diligence. If you say you're going to Moncton campus, why that campus? The impact of the program, right? So that is what we're asking. And if you do a good personal statement, it's also something you can transfer to your SOP as well. Now, with our AI system we're building, we're not releasing it for admission yet for you to draft personal statement and the rest. But for the immigration side, you could be able to do this. What if you're based in Europe? It doesn't matter if you're based in Europe, if your passport is Nigeria, the same applicable to you. The question is open. It doesn't say what if you're based in Europe, what it should be. There should be some form of follow-up question, but it doesn't matter. Same goes with you. Meetings recorded. Can someone with WIC and NECO apply for ES 100%? Any idea when we should get feedback on application? So application is rolling basis. I would say that when you submit your application, if it's well done, properly done and submitted, we should be able to get the feedback as soon as possible. Like I mentioned, we're going to be following up after a week if we don't hear from them to know when we should be having a feedback, but it should be on a rolling basis, first in, first out. If someone already have a diploma in IT, which program would be would you recommend? It depends. IT. Now, there's IT business analytics there. If you want to do that, I would say go for that, right? If we do have cybersecurity and the rest, if it's part of the programs, please, you can consider specialization in that regards. But please check properly. Don't go for social work. Don't go for PSW. Don't go for early child education and all. Don't do that. But you can do IT business analytics. That's very good and relatable. C6 in English, B3 Math 6. I agree. That's a very good result. Early child education, I would say go for early childhood education. It's a very good program compared to PSW. Now, it's not bad. Early childhood is not bad compared to PSW. It's just that in terms of visa strength, early childhood goes first before PSW. Yeah. Again, it all depends on how you explain yourself. If your experience is not relatable, you can't be going for early childhood when you've never been in teaching environment, except you're just finishing high school. All right. You cannot be going for early childhood and you're working as a HR firm. So be sure that before you do these programs, there's a relatable experience. Now, again, I have handled visas application for people that are doing career switch. One thing I always tell them, if you're going for early childhood, have some voluntary experience. Even PSW have done for people that just voluntary experience from a clinic was good enough for them. Or you church, your Bible school teacher for children, stuff like that. It helps as well. You just need to relate your experience based on the context, what you're doing, even if paid is not paid, and why do you want to change your course of study. Please explain. It's very important, the officer. So know one thing. Canada, you're not doing an interview. What you submit is what they read. So if you don't explain yourself properly, they're going to refuse your application, regardless of the fact that you've paid your 4 years tuition, you've done GIC and the rest. I study early childhood, but I applied for human science practitioner. Is that a good idea? You studied early childhood. Okay. Is this so? That question should be, is more like a second program in Canada. If you're already in Canada, you have a work permit. That couldn't be a problem. But if you also apply for a social service worker, I would say go with that than human service practitioner. that program, you need to, look at the course outline, understand what they are doing properly before you can really know if it's relatable to what you intend to do in the future. But I don't have my transcript here, so I might not be using my degree. So it depends on what you're applying for, Abisola. If you are applying for any program that is postgraduate diploma or certificate, you will need to get that transcript. If you apply for anything that is below, then you don't need to. You mentioned about having a credit in chemistry and biology to be able to apply, but thought the website requirement is showing biology. So biology, I said biology or chemistry, right? So now it does, but most important thing, right? Now on the website, yes, biology or chemistry. Why I'm saying biology or chemistry would help is that if a lot of people are applying and someone that has a very good grade at the same time with you and they are comparing people now that are applying, they want to go with the one that has most complete result. Now if you don't have chemistry, that doesn't mean that you cannot apply, but biology is the priority. Now there are some schools, they want to see both, right? They want to see both. Now if you have either one of them, it's good to go 100%. Do you understand? It's good to go 100%. So but be sure to put in the application on time so that the rolling base is affecting you, so you're in and out before people that have much better results are coming in as well, because they're going to be reviewing everyone. So which campus is best to get admission into? Campus wise, I cannot say which one is best. I would just say that based on size of campus and location of campus, you'll be sure to select your program wisely. If you're coming for Fredericton, apply on time. Be sure that your application is submitted on the 13th so you stand a chance. If you're going to St. Andrews, Woodstock, and the rest, of course, a lot of people don't go there, so you're sure. But a lot of people go to Moncton and St. John. So again, know where you're going to, right? So if you know that you're ready to apply, I would say look towards the bigger campuses like Moncton and St. John. I know St. John, automatically, if you apply late, your waitlist, so don't even go there. Moncton, the same most likely might apply. It's people go there a lot. A lot of people apply to those campuses, so you should look outside of Moncton, St. John, Fredericton, and any other one of those campuses are good to go. The information is there. Information technology, cybersecurity. You might want to check our programs based on our website to see if that is there. I can't tell. Applying CPS, I studied educational management. Is that possible? If you study educational management, you want to do PSW, I would advise you to rethink. If you're working in a teaching environment, please go for early childhood education or educational assistant. That would be a better way to go. So it will be applicable to what you studied before. PSW, on the other hand, if it's what you really wanted, if you have the required WAEC result, you can, but please be able to show why you wanted PSW and the applicable relation. I mean, the connect the dot between what you studied, what you're doing, and what you tend to study in the future, right? Which is PSW. And so admission is not, it's important, admission, but I'm also trying to talk about visa alongside, because visa is what you should be thinking when you are doing these applications. Bachelor's, and can I apply for diploma in the same program? No. You already have a bachelor, so if you apply for diploma in the same program, diploma is lower than bachelor. So think about it. What would the officer say? Would the officer say that you already got that degree already? Yes, they will say that. Right now that they are looking to refuse visas more than approve visas, you be careful to submit early childhood again, right? Look at maybe social community worker or something like that. That will connect you to that program easily. Don't reapply for what you studied before. As much as they will tell you that don't worry, it can fly, but you will do a lot of explaining. Yeah, nursing program is not open for international students. There are other schools. Yes, we have other schools for we have St. Clair College, which is our best school for practical nursing. If you apply, you have your biology, chemistry in your result, you get that admission, even though it's C6. You get that admission for St. Clair for practical nursing for 2027. It's not open yet, but once it's open, we'll let you know. I studied English and literary study for bachelor's. Can I apply for social work? Please go ahead 100%. You can. Can I make use of 2 WAEC results? This is what I was talking about. We currently are challenged with someone that is looking for admission with 2 WAEC results at the moment. It's been difficult, right? Some schools they do, but some they don't. With this school, I would say we can give it a try. Hopefully we get it, but there's no guarantee. I have 6s in English, B3 math. Can I still apply for HR? Yes, please go ahead. You can apply. Minimum is 6s, so you're very, very okay. So now please, the first person that raised his or her hand, I think on sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Igege. Can you please?
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you so much for this webinar. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have two questions to ask. The first one is concerning the passport. You made mention of the fact that if your passport is about to, maybe if it has like 1 year also to expire, it's best you renew the passport before your visa application. Now,
Mm-hmm.
for someone like me, I think I have like 3 more years for my passport. Is that something I need to show concern about?
No, three
Yeah,
years
that's
is
my
good. 3 years is good,
okay.
but one thing I would say here as a warning, as a form of caution, 3 years
Yes,
is good for your study permit, but it's not good for your work permit. Now, if you're studying a 2 years program, your 3 years will cover you 100%. However, upon before graduation, 1 year before graduation, extend your passport. Go and renew your passport, because if you apply for your work permit with that passport, they're going to give you 1 year study permit approval. I mean, postgraduate work permit approval at maybe the timeline of your passport expiration. And in order for you
yes.
to apply again, it's called paper-based application for PHWP, and you don't want to go through that stress. Come in without passports, come to Canada immediately. It's 1 year before expiration. Go to all the while, do it all, renew your passport immediately.
Okay, sir. Okay, now my second question is concerning the course I'm going for. I'm actually interested in going for PSW,
Hmm.
but I have a degree in philosophy,
Okay.
and then I did a volunteered role um in a healthcare setting.
Hmm.
It's actually owned by a Catholic church, more like a hospice, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's like years back. So I don't know. Do I stand a chance of getting the admission?
What's your high school degree on? Is it WIC? Are you
My
a
high,
science student? Do you have chemistry or biology?
I have biology, but it's on art, not science.
Okay. So if you have biology, all right, and based on the departmental requirements, chemistry or biology, if you have biology and you've had the voluntary experience, so this is what I'm referring to of getting a reference letter as well, right? Writing a personal intent. Connect the dots. You understand? So you've
Yes,
immersed yourself in that field. You've been doing some practical work, uh, right? Let them give you a reference letter. Attach it. We're going to submit it alongside the application. Yes.
okay, sir.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, that works. If you're doing your masters already in real estate and asset management, building technology, yeah. Diploma certificate in electrical construction is it advised in terms of visa application? I would say yes, but be able to connect the dots. So I will assume that you want to practically get hands on doing what you're studying. It's not impossible. I've got people through with visa application for such your kind of profile. So it's not impossible. So like I said, deposit is within 14 days. All right. Upon getting the admission within the first 2 weeks, please make your deposit payment. Somi, please go ahead. Hello. If Somi is not here, Elizabeth, can you ask your question? Okay. Two other persons raised their hand, but I think they are not responding to us. If you raise your hand, can you please ask your question? Just go ahead, unmute your mic and ask your question. PhD in supply chain. Now, send an email to me. Let me confirm that to the school if HND will fly, because it's not in all cases that they accept HND, right? We need to be certain about that. For the person that just dropped that message, send an email. We need to confirm that. So, Dami, please take note of that. Let's write the department to be sure that they will accept that. Yeah, please, Anna, can you ask your question?
Okay, sir. So my question is, I have a passport that will expire by 2028, and we are in 2026, and I'm interested in studying PSW,
Mm.
but I studied fishery management. I was the one that said I studied fishery management in school.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have gone for early childhood education because I know it's a good course, but the cost, it has a high cost. The cost
How?
is very expensive.
How?
So it's a 2 year course,
Mm-hmm.
which will cost me about 20 more than 20 in
Like I said,
Nigeria currency.
let me pause you there. I said today is not for visa, right? But when you come to Canada, you understand why a 2 year course is better than 1 year course. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. A 2 year course will give you 3 years work permit. A 1 year course will give you 1 year work permit. Now, yes, a lot of people get their PR done in 1 year, but the likelihood is not too strong. I tell you, I have a lot of clients that are currently going back to school after their 1 year work permit has expired. Now, you can only apply for post-grad work permit once in a lifetime. So, if you apply for that 1 year work permit and you cannot sort out your PR within that 1 year, if you go back to school, you can no longer apply for it. You're just buying time till you sort out your work permit. So, I would say that another thing you should also know is that when you're applying for visa, the first 1 year is what they are looking at, even though it's 1 year course or 2 years course. The first 1 year financial consideration. How you pay the second year just shows your source of income that will get you through the second year. All right. So my advice is, if you think if your goal is just to do 1 year course and you're done, you might struggle to become a permanent resident if you don't immediately get a job in Canada. Because for you to fall into any of those category-based system under the express entry, you need to have got a minimum of 1 year work experience, no longer 6 months. So 6 months before February 18th. A minimum of 1 year work experience in Canada or in that field of study. Maybe you've worked in healthcare before, you worked in education, you've worked in STEM, right? So if you intend to get that work experience in Canada and you have a 1 year work permit, I'm saying not in all cases you get a job immediately after graduation, but bear in mind that means if you do get that job, you're just going to exhaust that first 1 year, then you start looking at PR in terms of CEC, which is Canadian Experience Class, or through category-based system, right? However, if you've got 3 years work permit, even though you don't use it in all, but you are able to, you stand a better chance, at least after the first year or before the first year, you know that you still have 2 more years while you're working towards your PR. I know the cost is high, but think about it before you make that decision. That's all I would say. You can go ahead with your other questions.
Okay, thank you. So my other question is that I have a passport that will expire 2028. So is this something I can still use or renew it before 2020? Renew it before I proceed my admission.
If you can, please do. All right. Don't do it use for admission, but for visa, do renew it, because at the end you're still going to renew it at some time as here, right? I think it's probably easier for you to renew it before leaving Nigeria than to come to Canada to do that, because you're going to travel if you can't do it online. My advice would be use the passport to secure the admission now, but effectively immediately work towards renewing it if they allow you to do so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Ola Kule, can you please go ahead with your question?
All right, thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
All right, I want to ask, as an international applicant, I want to apply for ECE. So what are those things I need to know?
Okay.
From my end. Number 2, I had teaching experiences. So I want to use ECE as a foundation to enter education. Is it possible?
Yeah, it is. It is possible, right? I wanted to ask, what's your work experience, right? If you're a teacher or you've taught before, it's very important you continue on there, right? So you're good to go. Your work, if it's good work grade, CC's minimum, most scores, math, English, and the rest. Yes, please do apply. You should be able to get it, yes. And visa wise, is you do have work experience in teaching, that should be easy for you to explain why. It doesn't mean that if you don't have that teaching work experience, you cannot. You can. You just have to bridge the gap through voluntary process, or maybe your interest in career change and why. If you clearly explain it to the officer will accept your reason of switching to that as well.
Okay. Okay. When you mean that I should clearly explain, is it that there will be an interview because I joined late? So sorry to ask. Would there be an interview during the visa process?
So visa, when it comes to visa application, it's not an interview. It's
okay.
When you submit your application, since there's no interview in Canada, you do what called SOP, statement of purpose. All right.
Okay.
So in your statement of purpose, you need to explain your career objectives and prospects. All right.
Okay.
In doing that, there you're going to be talking about why ECA.
Okay.
Why this course. You're going to look through the syllabus, the impact of this course to you, to your work experience. Right. Now, when I'm going to be dealing with the study permit webinar, please stay glued to our platform. I will probably present a very good SOP we've drafted as well, and I'll walk you guys through a sample. And like I said, our system is going to help you draft a very good SOP as well. So your SOP is your interview, is what you use to your thoughts together to the officer. You understand? Just I need to take a quick for a class. All right. So so that is what I was just trying to say, right? So can you apply? Please apply for that admission. Your relatable experience is very good. Yeah, you can use that, but be sure to put it together. Just a moment, please.
All right.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Right.
Yes. So that's Lakule, right? Have you created your account with ImmiBuddy yet?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Do you have your
Yes, I created my account. I've already created. I did that last week.
Submit your application. Open now.
I will do the application today.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes.
One more last question, please, sir. So now, if I peradventure I was given the admission and I pay the deposit fee, is it compulsory I pay the first semester before I go for visa processing?
It's not compulsory, but it's recommended.
Okay.
I want to go deep into that. Now, my subsequent webinar.
All right. Okay. All right, sir. I'll stay glued. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah, Olu Bimi, can you please go ahead?
Good evening. Thank you for the section. So I have two questions. So the first question is for someone that got a fuser and wants to.
I cannot hear you clearly, sir. Can you say that again for someone that?
All right. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I said for someone that got a fuser from RCIC. Yeah. And I think, the person got at the admission, they got an admission from NBCC last year. So what chances does the person have regarding a new application? Like, if the person submitting a new application now, does that affect that, the person has been given admission before?
No, it does not. You're doing a new admission. That is what the school is asking for. So you're good. I think you should be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so the second question is that we talked about the personal statements in regards to this application we are submitting. So I'm asking, are we writing the the statement of purpose or personal statements to the school, the admission team, or we are writing it to the IRCC?
No, okay, so it's not compulsory you do personal statement, by the way. It's only when you have a consistent, or should I say, a very interesting situation. Maybe you have a different education, different career, and you're switching to a new career, right? And your result is different, so you need to bridge the gap. Do you understand? Now,
yes.
Why it's also important is that because this application, the competition is really high, you want to put yourself out there.
Okay.
You understand? So if you do have a strong one, yes, to the admission team, and the same personal statement is used towards the visa when you draft your statement of purpose as well.
Definitely. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely welcome. Elizabeth, you can go ahead if you're still with us.
Okay, I I applied for PSW, but I have no work experience, nothing. I'm just with my wife.
Okay.
So can someone
So how long ago did you finish your work? Did you finish high school?
2010, 2011 that I did my work.
What have you
But
been
I'm doing
doing?
other things. I've been working, but not
In what field?
PM. Yeah?
In what field?
Document control.
Okay, so you see there's a gap between what you study. What did you study? Okay, your WAEC is okay. Okay, you just have WAEC. So you have a study gap, right? A very big study gap. Do you understand? That is where personal statement comes in now, right? Now, I'm not concerned about if you will get admission. I'm more concerned about the visa side. Do you
Okay.
understand? So with the admission fly, yes, to some extent, if your study gap is properly explained, you should be able to, get a better chance. Why? What have you been doing since? What are the transferable skills you feel would be very useful when you're a personal support worker, and why support personal support worker? Very important. You link it there, right? So if you're looking at your visa side, that's where you should consider this fact. Now, the visa officer want to understand the gap, what you've been doing since you're done with your high school, and why PSW. How is it related, or how is it useful to you in terms of career growth in what you're doing right now, or where you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay.
Answer properly and carefully before you going in for the visa. Do you understand? So, like I said,
Yes.
we're going to be looking at visa sections maybe a week after the admission is all done. We'll probably first week of August, most likely. Uh, we'll take our time to, the same webinar, 2-3 hours, go through the whole process, explain detailedly, do a simulation for you guys with our system, then answer our questions. But I would not be too bothered in your case for admission. I'll be more concerned about the visa side of things.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Somi, are you still there? Can you ask your question?
Okay. Hi. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry, I'm the one that asked
100%.
about.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm the one that told you about having a. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes. I can hear you.
I talked about having a degree in medical laboratory science.
I can hear you.
Right. And applying for PSW. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I talked about having a degree in medical
Mhm.
laboratory science and applying for PSW. And then I wanted to go for practical nursing, but unfortunately, NBCC does not have an opportunity for international students. Now you talked about St. Clair College
Mhm.
having the
Mhm.
course, like offering the course, right? So now that I already
Mhm.
applied for PSW today, is there any how I
Mhm.
can switch, or can I still go ahead and apply to the St. Clair College for practical nursing? What do you think?
Yeah. You can, right? Our platform, you can apply to 10 schools or whatever, right? But again, practical nursing, St. Clair is not open at the moment. St. Eba is closed. So stay connected. It's going to be open
Okay.
soon. Once we let you know, you can submit the application at that time.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, sir. So if I apply with the same WAEC and documents, there won't be any issue, right?
No issues. No issues at all. I am sure St. Clair, you get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anna, are you there with us? Can you ask your question? So we'll wrap it up.
Okay. So I have another question to ask. The question is, since I studied education management, as I said earlier, but I'm interested in studying PSW because of the course.
Oh,
I've
you've asked the question already.
created, yes. So I created the application. I created an application for PSW, and I've gotten an email on it already. Is it possible to switch back to
Yeah, you can.
HIDW?
You can switch. So what you need to do, submit a new application for early childhood on our platform. Send an email to us that you prefer early childhood, and I'm going to switch it internally. Or write us on
Okay.
WhatsApp, right? We can do more.
Okay.
It's only if you have submitted that application to the school, then you cannot. But we're still in the early stages, right? So we can still do that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Olalikon, are you with us?
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. This has been an awesome moment. Thank you for taking our time to arrange a program like this, session like this.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So, although my question is more of a visa process, but I know this is not the session, but at the same time, I feel it is also important to ask this because it's like a step, to what we need to build on. So which of the programs can we apply for that will enable us, that can enable one to come with their dependent?
Okay. None for NBCC. Now you can come with your dependent if your children for NBCC. However, if you're relating to your spouse, I'll answer yes and no. Yes, if your spouse is going to be on visitor's visa. No, if you're intending for your spouse to be on spousal open work permit. The law that has come in effect from years now, 2 years ago, states that if you're applying to study in any college program, in some bachelor's program as well, except bachelor's in nursing, and some selected college programs like practical nursing in some schools, you cannot come with your spouse anymore to work. Your spouse can only come on a visitor's visa, but cannot work. Children, on the other hand, can come and go to school. The only time you'll be able to work is when it's a master's program that is 16 months and above, not less than 16 months. Or a PhD program. Bachelor's of Nursing, your spouse can work. Bachelor of Engineering, your spouse can work. LLB, that is law, your spouse can work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if our goal is to possibly pursue a program in a university,
yes,
is there also something we can also browse through your?
Yeah, my platform, yes. We have about 40 schools, right? We have about 40 schools. We have university, master's programs. We have top universities, Ontario Tech, Lakehead, University of Windsor. They're all there, yeah. The same thing we're doing for NBCC, we're doing it for other universities as well.
Oh, okay. So what of universities in New Brunswick? Are they on your platform too?
They are not. So it's not all schools to sign that kind of partnership. It's not easy. But I have my meeting with UNF, University of New Brunswick, Fredericton campus tomorrow. I'm trying to break through them to get a deal on bringing them on our platform. So we're still on that, yes.
All right. Thank you very much for.
You're welcome. Yeah. So if you're doing a postgraduate diploma, let it be in a university or a college, your spouse cannot come, even though it's 2 years on a work permit. Please know that. Now, I said this is not for visa. This is for application process, but we're going to do a visa webinar in first week of August. All right, let's say 1st of August, right? My team is going to put out a new link for people to register, and we'll prepare for you guys to answer all. So please stay glued to our channel, our group, and we'll send email to everyone as well. Yes, if your hand is still raised, I'm sure probably you have more questions, but if you're not, you can drop your hand and let's call it a day. From your immigration point of view, have you got something to do with the type of programs one can do? For instance, if it's 38 years old is applying for diploma program. Now, if it's 38 years old is applying for a diploma program, there's no restriction on that. Immigration points would be New Brunswick is a good place to come because provincially you stand a better chance compared to other provinces. But bear in mind, your spouse cannot come on work permit, but your kids can come under you. So your kids are not restricted to any, if it's a college certificate, college diploma, postgraduate certificate, postgraduate diploma, 1 year, 2 years, your kids can come. Know that. All right. In absence of any further questions, thank you so much. We're going to send out a survey, short survey, to know how well the quest. Okay, Kizito, go ahead.
All right, doctor. Thank you very much for the time you took to give us this wonderful section. I have two questions outright. I just have to be quick. Number one, the IT postgraduate diploma in IT data analytics, is it open for HND holders?
Okay, so for anything HND, we'll get back to you on that. I need to confirm with the school to be sure they are accepting HND.
Okay, that is one. I would have loved to reserve my second question for the visa section. But let me just put it as an intro, maybe in case the other time we will talk about it at length. About the SOP, I have an establishment which I used for my SOP during my last visa application where I am now in Europe. So I would like to know if I should continue using my company as my employer for Canada. Will it have any negative?
No, it does not. It does not at all. So someone just put in here that they do accept HND. So yes, yeah, but I'll still get a full confirmation from the school because they've changed their system, and this new system they are doing right now is we're just starting it. So I will still get a confirmation to be sure that they do accept HND. An email will be rolling out tomorrow to the admission team to give me a confirmation to that. All right. But someone just mentioned that you do accept HND. So yes, if you do have HND, please do not hold back. Create your account and submit your application. But definitely, I will get that confirmation as well.
Should I go ahead and submit the application because I
Please
have
go
already
ahead.
received?
Please go ahead. But definitely, we'll get a confirmation. If they don't accept it, your money is going to refund. We won't submit the application. We'll send your money back to you, tell you to apply for something else. Yeah, a different school that does. To do apply, accept it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. If someone have HND in surveyor and geographical information, now you can go for the postgraduate diploma in IT business analytics. That could work for you because you have HND in geographical information system. You can also do college program in construction if there's any. Yeah, that could help as well. Yeah. So is there any more question from anyone? If you have, please, you can just unmute your mic and ask. So now, for NBCC, the platform we're using is vast, so we're not creating an account for anyone. Just to be clear on that. Now, if you have a first and second choice option, please, we don't do that on our platform, right? You can submit another application. We'll let you know how to navigate that, right? You can submit another application and let us know. We will consider that on when we submit your application. We'll put that first choice, second choice for you. So that's not a problem. But we do not have that on our platform. Submit on the application, like someone did that already today. Submit on the application, let us know. I will consider putting that in for you during the time of submitting the application. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Good evening. Thank you.
My name is Awodu ImmiBuddy. I just joined your webinar now. Thanks for your cooperation with us. Please, I applied for building engineering technologies from NBCC yesterday. I'm an HND holder. I've already paid and everything. But I look at all the information given in the website, but I believe that I'm not sure with the requirement. Is it okay by the school?
Okay, so I'm not the admission administrator or the director.
My former background is in chemical engineering, but all work I'm doing is for the construction and some other stuff. So
no worries, that's fine. So first and first, tomorrow I'm going to get a full confirmation if HND is accepted. Even though someone mentioned here that it does, they do accept HND, but I'm still going to confirm that to be sure 100%. I like to hear from you directly. Secondly, if you submitted, good, we're going to put in the application. If there's a need for you to write a personal statement because your background is, your education is in different form of engineering, your background is in construction, then that we will recommend as well if you need to. All right, it's not required, right? Then you get the admission. Yes.
No, it just is key. What I'm saying. What about it? But they did not put for the January stuff now. They did not put most of. Initially, I just want to go for tech, the ski trade, but it's not open yet. That's the reason why I put in for that one.
You said you wanted to go for what exactly?
Ski trade, yeah, tree trade.
No, but
any of the ski trade.
What you're going for is very good, actually.
Okay.
I'll be careful to go for a trade program than to go for that. Yes.
Hello.
You hear me?
Hello. Hello, sir.
Can you hear me? I said
I can hear you.
What you've gone in for is very good, so go for that. Yes.
Okay, sir. So, okay, well done, sir.
Yes, you can apply for Georgian College, right? We have that on our platform, right? For May intake, you can apply for that. That's okay.
The Georgia College is too costly.
No, someone else. I'm just responding to the message, right? So, yeah. All right. If there's no other question, I think we'll call it a day today, so I can attend to other stuff. Thank you very much for your time. Confirm about. I will do. Don't worry. That is something I will definitely confirm. It's just today is public holiday, Canada Day. I cannot call them right away. My email is going to drop first thing tomorrow morning, and they will respond immediately to me. Then we'll let you guys know in the group. Don't worry. Ola, can you go ahead? We've got 6 more minutes before call it a day today. All right, you just raised your hand. Can you go ahead, Ola? All right. Thank you all for your time. It's been a very interactive section. Thank you for making that this time as well. Definitely, we're definitely going to get back to you guys on the HND side of things. And on the 2 choice program situation, we're still going to attend to that as well. Dami already puts what we're going to do on the chat. And the next webinar as well, we're still definitely going to let you guys know. Please do not miss the visa side because it's more important than admission. You need to be there. All right, it's free. You don't have to pay to be in that section. So please do well to be there. We'll send it out on time, 1st of August. So you prepare and you don't miss it. So we're going to send a feedback survey for every one of you about this section. And if you have any other question, you can also put it there. So my team is going to ensure they do that between now and on Friday. Upon receiving it, just respond. It's going to be a short feedback section. What do you think about the section? What you have preferred to have probably learn about or know about, and suggest any other webinar that you think will be useful in your journey to Canada. My goal is to do as many as possible, right? I have the time for you guys to help you come in and successfully settle in. I also take care of those that when they're already here, we do free webinar for them. Like there are other schools like those in Niagara that I do for them a lot, just to keep them compliant in the system, prepare for immigration, even though they have 2 years, 1 year to study. Also, just to keep them ready, right? You don't want to compare so much amount in terms of coming to school, and at the end of it all, you're unable to secure your PRO or you don't know how to navigate the process. So thank you again for your time.